Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is a different video. As you can see, we are outside. So since it is Easter weekend, I thought it'd be fun to do a handstand practice. Now, I'm gonna flat out say right now that I can't fully do a handstand. There have been a few times where I can stay up, but I wouldn't credit myself as a professional handstander or say that I'm at the level to do them. However, today we are going to practice and do moves that will help us obtain a handstand in the future, hopefully. So I will do my best giving you guys tips and tricks that I have, and we will hopefully see if we can get a handstand going. I want to be clear that since we are outside, the audio might be a little bit muffled. There might be wind or airplanes or cars driving by. I am not using my same microphone, I'm using a different one, and I am actually using a pair of dollar store bunny ears as my little wind filter sound barrier. But if I'm not as clear as usual, even though my other videos I'm probably not the best audio person anyways, that's why. So anyways, we will get together on our mat. I do have a yoga mat underneath this blanket, but this just made the ground a little bit more flat for myself and harder. It's still pretty malleable, but we'll see what we can do with it. So if you want to follow me, luckily it is beautiful weather outside. Put on your sunscreen, put on your workout gear, and we will get started. Let's have a Hoppy Easter. Okay everyone, thanks for sticking around. I'm just going to trust that I'm in frame because it's super bright and I can't see the monitor, but we're just going to go for it. So here we go. We're going to inhale our arms out extended in front of us and just do a couple of wrist circles to warm up. So just go one direction, both wrists at the same time. And then we'll turn the opposite direction. This time we're going to extend our left arm out and use the tops of our right fingertips to pull the fingers back. Then we'll breathe in here for a nice stretch. And then we're just going to turn it to face the ground and pull back with the fingertips again. Do the opposite hand, so pulling your fingertips back. And facing towards the ground. To interlace our fingers and inhale them above our head. So we'll inhale, and then we'll flip our palms facing up for a nice stretch here. You can look at your hands, or if it's so bright in the sky, you can just look ahead. Turn to face the opposite way. We're going to inhale our left arm onto our back. Inhale right hand to capture the fingertips for a nice stretch here. Then we'll exhale, release. Inhale right hand to the back. And inhale left hand to meet the fingertips. If you can't reach here, you can always use a yoga strap, or just reach to the furthest amount that you can. And we'll exhale, release, come back to you guys, and we'll just do some shoulder shrugs, or shoulder circles, I mean. So one thing that I've learned from doing handstands is that people do it differently. So yogis tend to go a lot slower and have movements. We always say to keep our shoulders away from our ears, but I've also heard that in handstands, keeping your shoulders up towards your face is actually more helpful, because what the motion is you're actually pushing yourself into the ground. So when you're pushing, you're using that effort and that energy with your shoulders to push yourself. So we're going to try both ways and see sort of what works for us. Since this is still a learning process for me, I'm just letting you guys follow along and see how it goes. Also, for each person, it's probably a little bit different. So even if something works for me, it might be different for you. So I just want to show you guys the different options. If you've been doing circles still, then you can reverse into the opposite direction. Beautiful. So we're just gonna get started. And what we're gonna do, instead of just falling onto our hands and kicking our legs up, we're actually going to begin with our hands planted. Sorry about the lawnmower. So if you want to get into downward facing dog, then that is somewhere that most people start from. So I'm just gonna, I haven't really stretched it out yet, so I'm gonna inhale my arms up into the sky, exhale, forward fold. And then I'm just going to send my arms out in front of me. My feet are hip distance apart. Do your best to have a close downward dog. So you want your arms closer to your feet than you typically would have. So a lot of the times we're splayed out a little bit further. But we want to have our hands in closer. Our main goal is to stack our wrist, elbows, shoulders, and then when we're in the air, we want to stack our hips as well as our ankles. Imagine it as sort of building blocks. So if you are trying to keep like Jenga or any building blocks and you stack them up on top of each other, if any little block is out of place, then it kind of tilts and becomes off balance. So that's what happens to us when we aren't fully aligned. Then we feel the movements pushing us, and that's when we topple over. Another thing that's super important is bailing. So when it comes to doing handstands and you don't have the strength or you're not used to practicing this, then it is very important to fall safely and make sure that you're avoiding any injuries. So to do that, you typically land as if you're doing a cartwheel. So say my legs are in the air, so say I'm just kicking and I feel like I'm gonna fall, then you just kind of curtsy over to the side. Another important part is to be in the space that you have a lot of room. I'm so sorry for this noise. Make sure that you're in a space where you have a lot of room. If you want to practice this up against a wall, that does help a lot of people, but since it's a beautiful day, I thought it'd be fun to have a nice open area and practice outside without any walls or any couches or furniture in the way. I'll explain more as we're going along. It'll be a lot easier to show you. So we're going to go back into downward dog. So inhale, exhale, forward fold. My feet are hip distance apart, and then I have my hands planted here. So my wrists, my elbows, and my shoulders are in line. If you have hypermobile elbows, which I do, then it's a little bit easier to have a bit of a bend in them. However, if you don't have that, then it is better to lock your arms. Always be cautious. So if you aren't hypermobile and you do want to lock your elbows, do so. But if you get to the point where it gets sore or painful, then just relax. You can always practice it another time. The best way to practice handstands is, instead of doing them over and over and over again and getting sore and getting more tired and it becoming harder and harder, you want to practice in threes. So have 3 attempts, and then if in those 3 attempts you don't make it, take a little break, and then we'll get right back to it. Okay? So we're going to do our first one together here. So come back into downward facing dog. Joints all aligned. And then from here, if you want, you can just start with a 3-legged dog, kind of walk it out. Just kind of get used to going up into the air. And then when you're ready, we're going to try a kick. So you can bend your knees to give yourself a little bit of a push or a launch. So we're going to try kicking up together here. if you want to just kind of rock and feel the motion, you can go up onto your tippy toes. And now I'm just gonna go for it. So my hands are planted, my fingertips are spread apart, my wrist, elbows, and shoulders are stacked, and then I'm gonna kick up and use my core, activate my core to try and maintain steadiness. And here we go. Okay, that wasn't so bad. I couldn't get my feet to meet together, and I couldn't hold it long, but it wasn't too bad. So I'm gonna try again. Ooh, okay, that one was not good. So wrists, elbows, shoulders. I have a little bit of a bend in my elbows because they are hypermobile. And then I'm just gonna kick up. Ooh, not bad. Okay, so in the beginning I said have your hands and your feet closer together for a downward dog. So it is better this way as it makes you feel your arms are in place. But what I've noticed is that my legs were too close. So as long as my wrists, elbows, and shoulders are in line, then you can bring your feet back if that's easier, and then kick off from here. So I'm gonna do one more. Ready, and go. All right, not bad. So we're gonna do 3 attempts and then take a little break. And since it is Easter, I figured a nice counterbalance break would be rabbit pose. So we're gonna grab our heels, inhale up. We're gonna place the crown of our head to the floor and do a nice little reverted back bend. I'm not sure what you call that. So inhale, exhale. Make sure to breathe here. And then we'll come back up to center. Okay, so I think I did actually okay here. So the very first thing I was paying attention to was my wrists, my elbows, and my shoulders, and being in line. This time I'm going to try and focus on tightening my body. So if you think about when you play dead and someone tries to pick you up and you're way more heavy because you're loose, when you tighten up your muscles, you become lighter. So if the goal is to keep yourself up, you want to remain as light as possible. So this means that you want to clench your bum, you want to push your legs together, squeeze everything inside. Try not to put any strain on your neck, as that can cause some injury or soreness. So we're going to do our best to keep a neutral neck, but then squeeze everything else together so you become as light as a feather. So that's going to be my next goal. So we'll come back up into downward facing dog. So here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Squeezing my bum, squeeze my arms. That one actually felt pretty good. So I'm going to do that one more time. I'm actually getting there a little bit. I wish I could hold it longer. Okay. And we'll try one more time. Okay, see, safe fail. See, my wrist stayed on the ground. Try your best not to do that because that could have really hurt myself. But I did okay. And you land softly. Okay. So now for a resting pose, I'm just gonna stretch out the wrists. So, pushing my palms upside down into the mat. Facing away from each other. And here, if you want to do some circles. Other way. Maybe this way. Facing yourself. And then I'm just going to go into child's pose. I'll come back up. Okay, and we're gonna do one final round. So this is just a fun video. I know it's gonna be a little bit shorter, but I thought since it's a holiday, this would be something that you can go out and do with your friends or family, maybe even on Easter Day. Hopefully this will be uploaded on the Monday. So if you have some time and it's beautiful like this out, like it is in Canada, then go take advantage. After your Easter egg hunt, do some handstands. It'll be a nice fun bonding thing with your family or friends, as well as a new skill that you learn or will potentially warm up to. For our next attempt, we've already paid attention to stacking our joints, so we're stacking our wrists, elbows, shoulders, hips, and ankles and knees. So we're paying attention to that. We're paying attention to tightening our bodies, so we're squeezing in those glutes, squeezing in the thighs, the legs, the arms, everything. The next attempt, we're going to actually pay attention to the push. So when you push into the ground, you're giving that active energy and it's keeping yourself up. So that's what we're gonna do. So if you come back into downward facing dog, you can get into it however you want. I'm just gonna start from here. Inhale. If you need to stay, warm up a little bit. Take your legs out. And if you've noticed, I've been kicking with one leg and having my right leg meet, but other people prefer doing both legs at once, so just follow your preference. We are in the learning stages, so just doing whatever works best for us in the moment is what will help us the most in the end. So if you find that you're doing one way and it just becomes impossible and you're getting frustrated, just let that way go. Do it the way that you can. As long as you don't think you're putting extra pressure somewhere and hurting anything, then you're helping yourself, because each individual is different and we all do things different ways. Just do it as you think best will work for you. I'm surprised my sunglasses haven't fallen off yet. This is great. Okay, so coming back into downward facing dog. Inhale. So this time I said that we are working on pushing. So in this case, I'm going to do my best to push into the mat or the ground or whatever surface you're on and stay strong. So we're ready. Inhale and kick. Ooh, okay. Ooh, nice little back bend. Oh, beautiful. So this can be hard, and there's always those times that you fall. It's going to happen no matter what. Even if you're a pro, I'm sure there's still days where you're a little bit tired or a little bit sore, and this is the outcome. But you know, I'm on a mat in the sunshine, I'm basically just tanning. So even the fails, there's a bright side. I'm gonna get back into position and try again. Okay, so I'm in downward dog here. Hip distance apart. I'm going to put my legs back a little bit. Keeping my wrists under my shoulders. So I'm pushing into the ground. Ooh, this is my longest one yet. Ooh, that really helped. Okay. So my longest one yet was due to me being aware of pushing into the ground. What I did was focused on the heels of my palms, if that's how you call that. So this area here, I was pushing that into the ground. That was keeping me up straight, and it made me hold it longer. So if you haven't tried the pushing motion yet, then do give that a try, because that really did help me. Now I'm excited and I want to do some more. So let's try it again. So palms, elbows, shoulders. I'm going to put my legs back behind me. When I kick up, I'm going to immediately squeeze my bum together, my legs together, even my shoulders. I'm going to make sure to use some strength and push on the heels of my palms into the ground, and hopefully it'll keep me up just like it did last time. Okay, so we'll do this together. Or you can watch, whatever you want. Okay, that one wasn't as long. What? pushing. Ooh, okay. Oh, not working as well as it did last time, but I'm feeling really good about that, and that was a learning point for me. I know that helps me as an individual to get a better handstand. So as I continue to grow, I will get better, and I will keep these little tidbits in mind for what works for my body best. And hopefully then I'll improve and continue to have longer and longer handstands. Hopefully you guys did learn from this. I'm super excited now. I feel like I have a better grasp on handstands and that I can slowly keep practicing and build it up until I can hold it. I also like the fact that I've pretty much stuck to this mat. I've done a couple of reels unintentionally, but other than that, I didn't feel like I fell out to the sides much at all, so that is really good. That makes me feel confident that if I wanted to practice inside or if I wanted to practice in a public yoga class, if they do that anywhere, then I'd feel a little bit confident in that I can control it and maintain where I land. So that's really exciting. I hope that you guys had some success. If you did, I would love to see it. So post on Instagram, make sure to tag me at Ash Robertson Yoga. Other than that, I wish you guys the happiest long weekend in Easter. I hope you see all your friends and family, have an amazing time, and that you're blessed with sunny weather like this. If not, you can appreciate it. Nature is beautiful, even if it's raining or cloudy. Just enjoy it. Now I'm addicted to doing handstands, and I'm going to continue practicing. If you want to do so as well, feel free. And I will see you guys again next week. Thanks for joining. Happy Easter! Oh, also one last thing, if you watched till the end of my very last video, I have partnered with Blend Bubble Tea to work on the Easter blend hunt. So if you are local to the Metro Vancouver area, this includes Port Coquitlam, Pitt Meadows, and Port Moody, then you can participate. This is happening Monday, April 22nd, I believe, the Easter Monday, so whatever day that lands on. And what they do is they hide mason jars all around the cities, and you guys can find them, and inside the jars are coupons, and inside 12 of the jars are my DIY mat sprays. However, there are 60 jars in all of the cities, so if you find one and it doesn't have my mat spray, I do apologize, but it is a nice, fun, family-friendly event, so all ages are able to participate, and you will get a coupon to Blend Bubble Tea. It will be happening this weekend, Monday. So if you are in the area, then please do join. I would love to see people from my channel participating, and if you do decide to do so after watching this video, then please let us know in the comments, whether on their social medias or mine. I will be checking all of it. And yeah. Okay, I've talked too long, so thank you guys. I'll see you again next week. Bye! Ooh, that was my longest one yet.